It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 186 of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens. We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton. But most importantly,
we hug chickens every day.
And we kiss them too. Don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee roaster in Houston, Texas. Bright and early coffee. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
We're going with the Texas cinnamon today.
I mean, we love the cinnamon coffee.
Love the cinnamon.
Got to try this out. You can use our code CWTCL15 for 15% off bagged coffee. And if you like K-Cups, they have them too. They ship for free always. Where can everybody find this coffee?
brightandearlycoffee.com.
Or Amazon. Check them out and follow them on social media. Are you ready to sip some of this, our new favorite cinnamon coffee, and chat?
I am, but first, a word from our sponsor.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubly Farms, use the link grubly.co/coffee. Try it today. Okay, so how are you doing?
We're building runs. That's what we're doing.
You're feeling better from COVID, so that's always a good thing. We are...
Mostly, it's been a slow recovery.
We're back at the table, which is nice.
Yeah, it is.
This is the first day working in person since COVID happened, and, you know, we're ready to work. But we are...
My COVID.
Right.
My COVID specifically.
I did not get it, thank God. We recorded remotely 2 days before you came down with it, and I've never been so happy to record remotely.
One of the sheep had a bellyache, and so yeah. Yep.
I was like, I feel bad for them, but I feel good for myself that we were not there.
Now you know how I felt all those times where you guys had COVID over here, and I was like, yeah, Zoom is good. Zoom is good. Zoom sounds great.
Now, the next 2 weeks are like a whirlwind for us in getting a lot of stuff done. I want to put this out there again. If you're going to be anywhere near Webster City, Iowa, the weekend of June 28th, please come out and see us. We will be there at Murray Fest Midwest. We'll be speaking, and we want to see so many beautiful faces out there to come see us.
You know what I heard through the grapevine?
What did you hear?
We were going to have some amazing temporary ink that maybe features a rooster.
Oh, yeah. We're going to bring a little bit of swag with us. So if you're going to be there, come visit us, come talk to us. We cannot wait. But man, we're so busy trying to get ready. Just to go even for 4 days to leave our homesteads is a lot of work.
I can't talk about it.
Don't talk about it.
I can't talk about it. Nope.
It's a lot of work. That's why. So on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcasts. Thank you to everyone who leaves us a written review over there. We love reading them. We love reading your kind words. They mean everything to us. We pour our heart and soul into this podcast, and to know that you're loving it means so much to us. So if you'd like to help us out, it's free. Go over and leave us a written review and hit subscribe while you're there. Subscribe because it's free and you never miss an episode. And they count them.
If you're looking for other ways to support the podcast, you can share your favorite episodes on social media.
Tell everybody about Coffee with the Chicken Ladies.
You can tell some friends about the podcast. You can visit our Etsy shop. We've got tank tops, t-shirts, and mugs. You can become a patron of the show. Patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. And the other thing you can do to help support the podcast is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay!
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera US.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you like subscription boxes?
Does it have anything to do with chickens?
Of course.
Then yeah. Let me take a minute to tell you about the Chicken Love Box. If you love goodies for your chickens and you need to go to chickenlove.com.
I love the Mega Box. Tons of useful products for my flock and a chicken tea for me.
You can't go wrong with a chicken tea. They are so cute and so soft.
In the April box, I absolutely love the chick leg bands and the organic soap set with hen decoration.
I am loving the Chicken Spirit long sleeve tee, and those chick vitamins, they could save a chick for sure.
Boxes start at $39 a month. They ship immediately after your order, and shipping is always free.
Such a great deal. Don't wait. Get off the nest and click already. Use the code CWTCL50 for 50% off your first box of a 3-month subscription or more. That's chickenlove.com. That's chickenluv.com. Get your subscription today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards.
Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. This is a little favorite chicken, oui. It's a little favorite chicken of ours. And it's time to talk about it on the Breed Spotlight, yeah.
Yeah. I think you might have whacked your mic while you're doing that little dance over there.
I was dancing as I was singing the song because this is honestly one of our most favorite chickens. We're revisiting the
Salmon Faverolles.
Oui.
I will tell you, not only is the Salmon Faverolles one of our favorite chickens, my husband said, and I quote, if we had runs of nothing with Salmon Faverolles, it would not be a bad thing. Pete casting his vote.
They are amazing chickens.
They are the cutest little things. The ridiculously adorable Faverolles chicken was developed in France. A lot of good chickens out of France.
Yeah, the French come up with some great chickens.
Seriously. It was developed around the village of Faverolles, which is south of Paris. And just a little note, Houdan is also in the same general region.
Again, another one of our favorite chickens. Come on.
Faverolles are a heavily feathered, medium-sized chicken. They were developed to be a true dual-purpose breed.
Can't see that myself, but okay.
There are a lot of things I can't see. And I don't know if that's because I need new glasses or what. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Farmers were trying to create a breed that was an excellent table bird, plus very good winter layers, so that they had more products to offer at the Paris winter market.
Yeah. I remember talking about this last time.
Now, somewhere in this process, this turned into one of the cutest chickens ever.
We have always said that this chicken is like on the movie Frozen series, you know, like this should be the one of Avondale, like the chicken that would be walking around because they do look like a winter chicken.
They do. Dr. Rebecca calls them Santa Claus chickens.
They do. And the thing is, one of the main reasons I can't see this bird being a dual purpose is because over the years it has gotten smaller.
Unless they're being shown.
Unless you go to the Ohio Nationals.
Because those Faverolles there were like twice the size of ours.
I remember we walked up like, are you kidding me? These are Salmon Faverolles.
I wanted to hug that in the worst way. It was all fluff and cuteness.
They were huge. That must be exact breed standard, that size. And ours are little.
Yeah, they are.
All of them are little.
Well, we don't have show lines. Well, the Faverolles are now listed in the recovering category of the Livestock Conservancy's Conservation Priority List. 15 years ago, they were critically endangered.
Now,
if you can imagine this bird being endangered.
I want to throw confetti everywhere and say yay, but I also want to take 2 seconds to pat ourselves on the back because without having this chicken be known out there, wouldn't have gotten help. And a lot of educators put the chicken out there to be known. It has helped. So
to know them is to love them.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the French farmers and breeders were working on the Faverolles from around the 1850s, 1860s, up through the 1890s. So we were over here fighting the Civil War, and they were making the cutest chickens in the universe. Among the foundation breeds for the Faverolles were Houdans,
Brahmas,
maybe some of the other Asiatics. There's no clear evidence about that.
And Dorkings.
We know the Dorkings for sure.
Yeah.
The Dorkings gave the Faverolles the fifth toe.
Exactly.
Now, during the last few decades of breeding, there was a lot of variety in the appearance, as you would expect. I mean, they were developing the standard.
Right.
The Houdan supplied the beard, the muff. The Brahma passed along the feathered legs and feet. In the salmon color variety, we'll talk a little bit more about Faverolles color varieties, but in the salmon, which is the one most of us know, the male's coloring is another gift from the Dorking.
It's darker. They're darker.
Right. Much. But the hen salmon color is unique, and it only occurs in Faverolles.
They're absolutely beautiful.
They're stunning birds.
Now, the problem is some of the other chickens like to peck that beard.
I don't even want to tell you. Croissant is like she has naked cheeks and a soul patch. That's all that's left.
I mean, it's too tempting for them sometimes.
They're stinking Andalusians.
Not good.
No. The British Faverolles Society and some other contemporary sources note that many of the French farmers who were trying to develop this breed that was not only a good dual-purpose bird, but also one that tolerated confinement or being caged well.
I don't like to hear that.
No. Louis Wright considered the Faverolles the finest chicken breed to come out of France.
They're really just cool birds.
They are.
I mean, there's so much about them that is just awesome. Number one, besides the way they look is beautiful, their personality.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you have Angelica. Now, if you have Angelica, watch out, man.
But in general, they're friendly and affectionate, and they're very chatty, and they're everything we love in a chicken.
Definitely.
In the 1890s, the Faverolles arrived in the UK. They quickly became a favorite bird there. Louis Wright wrote that breeders in the UK were struggling for a while with that straight comb because with the Brahma and Houdan genetics, combs were showing up in lots of non-straight forms. Brahmas have a P comb, Houdans have a V comb.
Exactly.
Eventually, the straight comb won out. Faverolles arrived in the U.S. in the very early 1900s, and they were imported by a man named Dr. Phelps of New York.
Did he swim?
I don't know.
Is he somehow related to Michael Phelps?
You went to Michael Phelps, and I went to, and I'm dating myself here, Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise, Mr. Phelps. Anyway.
I'm just thinking, whenever I hear Phelps, I think of Michael Phelps, because we're in Baltimore. Right. So, yeah, we think of Michael Phelps.
So Dr. Phelps placed an ad, I found this in a 1904 poultry journal, advertising his Faverolles, imported directly from France and England by himself. Dr. Phelps also bred Lakenvelders, and he occasionally had articles published in the noted poultry journals of the time. So he was a pretty well-known figure.
Right.
Now, I thought this was interesting. He mentioned the salmon color variety and several other color varieties that were once available in the U.S.
Okay, start us off.
The ermine,
the black,
red,
the spangled,
and blue.
Now, can you imagine the Faverolles in these colors? Wow.
Now, I've seen photos of the blues, and they're beautiful. The spangled, I would be all over.
Oh, yeah.
All over.
For sure.
Now, in Faverolles, ermine is essentially the same pattern as a light Brahma, the Columbia pattern.
Right.
Picture of Faverolles in the Columbia pattern, but with a big white beard and muff.
I feel like no chicken lady should be without at least one Salmon Faverolles, and I have 4. Okay, so I'm a little biased, but they're just such good, amazing chickens, and so just the way they look and everything is just gorgeous.
Now, the salmon color was admitted to the APA Standard of Perfection in 1914, and then much later, in 1981, the white was admitted.
You don't see a lot of those.
You don't see a lot. They're pretty. I mean, they're pretty, but I mean, I think the
salmon takes the cake. Yeah. I mean, all those different color browns and tans and whites all mixed together to make the salmon, make them beautiful. The Faverolles are a medium-bodied chicken. So what we're saying is they're not going to be big. They're small to medium, honestly.
Not unless you're getting really good show lines.
Right. And they have the feathered legs, full muff and beard, a straight comb, white legs, what you can see of them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you're going to see more of their leg than some of the other chickens with feathered legs. And feet.
Like cochins, you don't see much at all.
Right. Now they got that 5th toe.
Yes.
The Salmon Faverolles, we were just talking about this. The hens, they're a beautiful mix of browns and creams and whites and shades of all difference of these colors.
And that salmon is like this, looks like salmon. It's like this pinky orange. It's so beautiful.
It does. It does. Now I've always talked about the roosters. That if you got one, you need to name them Blackbeard because they have a black beard. That's what they're known for. It's in the front. And their coloring is different because it has black mixed in.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Where if you have a baby and they start to get black feathers, it may not be a girl.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So they look really different than the hens, the boys.
They do, yeah. Yeah, they're adorable, but they're very different looking.
Now, the APA, Standard of Perfection, puts their ideal weights at 8 for roosters and 5.5 for hens. That's a little high from what you're going to find right now.
That's the Standard of Perfection. So that's what you need if you're going to be showing your birds.
I feel like it's going to be 4.5 to 5 for hens.
Yeah.
And take that down a little bit for a rooster.
Croissant. I don't even think she'll break 5 pounds. She's so tiny.
Most of mine are around 4.5 pounds to 5. They're more like leghorn size.
Right.
And they're little chickens, which means, you know, like you can have more of them. But they're like, they are kind of plump.
They're fluffy.
Yeah, they're fluffy. Now, the Faverolles hens are actually pretty good layers, about 180 per year. Okay. But you're going to get good eggs, but you're going to have them more for the personality, their looks, all these different things.
Yeah.
Now, most of the French breeds lay white eggs, but the Favs lay light brown to cream.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You'll see an occasional pink bloom in there.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's a statement about going broody. They will occasionally go broody. They go broody, man.
Croissant's never gone broody.
Mine go broody.
Well, I said occasionally go broody because they occasionally go broody.
Mine aren't. There's nothing occasional about it, man.
You don't have that many in the box back there.
Oh, they go broody.
I know, but they don't stay in that box long.
Now, Angelica and Eliza.
Let me read the next sentence. Reports say they're relatively easy to break from broodiness.
You can break them, but it does take a few days of, you know, constantly being back there.
Right, you have to.
But Eliza and Angelica are always going broody. Ivy and Clover, who came from a different hatchery, a different breeder, not so much. But the first two, and they're sisters of Croissant.
Right.
Croissant. So, but I'm like, come on, stop.
Croissant has never gone broody.
You're lucky. You're lucky. Okay, so like we said, they're sweet, they're docile, they're active, they're extremely alert.
Just because they're laid back and docile and, you know, French farmers wanted to be able to cage them, they actually are quite active and extremely alert, and they have tons to say. They are chatty chickens.
They're talkative. They love to talk to you. And we're always on the phone in the morning when we're doing our chicken chores, and Clover's always going off.
She sounds like a raven. Like she kind of croaks at you.
So Clover is very talky. She's the most talky of all the Faverolles.
Yeah,
of
she
mine.
is.
And, you know,
I would say watch putting them into an already established flock with strong personalities.
They're going to get bullied.
They are going to be at the bottom of the pecking order.
No doubt.
This is a very cold hardy bird. They do not like the heat, and they absolutely need help to keep cool.
Now, I will say this. Even Angelica puts Clover, shows Clover the business of saying, and that's within the Salmon Faverolles themselves. So, yeah, you have to watch with your flock placement. You don't want them with a really strong chicken where they can get hurt because they're not heat hardy. You really don't want them in a flock where they're being chased or picked on. Right.
Like that kind of stress on top of heat can really kill a chicken.
Exactly. But, you know, the good news is they're good in the cold.
They are, yeah.
They're the Santa Claus chicken, according to Dr. Rebecca. So they just have that look to them like they belong in a winter Disney movie. They just do.
If you're looking to show birds, I mean, they are great show chickens. They have been great show chickens since the late 1800s. Now, this is another note. This bird is not at all predator savvy, and they need muffs trimmed sometimes away from their eyes to prevent obstructed vision.
Yeah, just look at them. I mean, sometimes your other chickens will do that for you, the trimming.
Well, yeah, I don't have to trim croissants right now. No, I know.
They're like, oh, let me help you with your trim.
So
Here you go.
The Mediterraneans are just like, dude, you've got too many feathers. Let's thin that out. I don't know. While these are very healthy and hardy chickens, they are not a super rough and tumble breed. Look at them.
What do I call them? You know what I call them.
Soft chickens.
Yes, I do.
Yep.
So there's certain chickens in my flock. I think you kind of said the same thing because I say it too much. Truffle the Barnevelder, soft chicken.
Yes. Yeah.
The Salmon Faverolles, soft chickens. And they tend to react more to if something goes down with them, they're going to react more. Like if you get a bumblefoot case, they're really going to feel it. They're soft chickens.
Essentially, if you are considering this breed for a hands-off homestead breed, we would say you should reconsider.
Right.
This is not a bird that you can just let out every day to do their own thing.
It's a great bird if you have kids and you want your children to, you know, be able to be hands-on. This is a great bird.
They are wonderful birds. Absolutely love them.
So we think everybody should get one.
Absolutely.
Have them not in a big, strong flock, though.
I mean, they are the consummate chicken lady or chicken gent or chicken person bird. They're just the consummate fancy bird.
They're awesome.
Love them.
Okay, so let's tell everybody where you can get these birds, because I know now you want to get a Salmon Faverolles.
You can actually get them a lot easier now than you used to be able to.
A ton easier.
McMurray Hatchery does have a lovely line of Faverolles. I currently have a pair of them in the brooder, and they are beautiful little things. They're gorgeous. Cream puff and baguette.
They are cuties.
Gonna go live with croissants. See how that goes.
Okay, so here we go. Flood us with your Salmon Faverolles pictures.
We want beards and muffs.
Yeah. Put a story up, hit the mention button, put our name in, and then I can just very easily just reshare it to our stories. We want to see them.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection. Roosty's proudly sponsors Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. They're back with an innovative new product. You're gonna want to check this out.
It's an extra large set, a 14-pound feeder in 3-gallon water with steep anti-roost lids. They're made of super durable material. You can either stand them on legs or hang them on brackets on your coop or fence. They're easy to remove and clean too. Plus, they look awesome.
We personally use Roosties and we're huge fans. So if you're raising chicks or keeping chickens, check out the Roosty store on Amazon or follow the link in our show notes.
UK chicken lovers, this one's for you. Get happy, healthy hens with ECONourish's live Calci worms. Enrichment, nutrition, and protection in one tasty, sustainable pack. Scientifically proven to support glossy feathers, strong laying and skeletal health,
protect from disease, and improve gut health and immunity. You'll also bust flock stress by stimulating natural instincts and get eco bragging rights. Visit econourish.co.uk and use the code COFFEE15 for 15% off your first order. Your chickens and the planet will hug you for it. Okay, so let's move on to main topic. Yeah. Okay, you're stuck with us this week for main topic.
Here we are.
We're still at the table. And we wanted to bring up a topic that is kind of been going on for a while, but a lot of people have lots of questions, but we want to explain it so that everybody kind of understands it and is not afraid of it.
Right. We do get a lot of questions about it, and there is a ton of conflicting advice and misinformation out there. So we're just going to break this all down for you.
We want to talk about Amprolium, what it is, and medicated feed for your chicks.
Right.
And we're going to break it down so that it's super easy to understand and that it's not scary, because it scares a lot of people.
It does, right. So we're going to start by explaining coccidiosis. The root of all of this comes down to a disease called coccidiosis. Coccidiosis is a microorganism. It is a protozoa, and your birds can be infected by it. It is a problem because it causes damage to their digestive system.
Right.
It can cause serious damage to their digestive system to the point where they're pooping straight blood.
Yes, it's pretty bad. It's a parasite.
Mm-hmm.
So what it wants to do is live off of them, but it's such a strong protozoa that it can live off of them to the point where it does kill them, because the chicks who don't have immunity against it yet, their bodies just can't fight it off.
Right. So coccidiosis is a big deal when we're talking about brooders and juvenile chickens.
Right.
How to avoid it? Well,
get the vaccine for coccidiosis.
That's a really good way to avoid it. The reality is coccidiosis is in the system. It's in the world.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's in the ground. Wild birds can carry it. It's all over the place. So the best idea is to find something to control it while your birds are exposed to small amounts of it.
And while they're growing bigger, and then like the smaller amounts they get, the more immunity they get against it.
Exactly. And how to treat it, that's usually a substance called Corid.
Right.
The generic name for that is Amprolium.
Right.
So
let's talk about what is medicated feed. Now, medicated feed, this is the caveat here, and I want everyone to really listen that medicated feed, it does not contain antibiotics. And there is a big misconception out there that medicated feed contains antibiotics.
No, not a single antibiotic. It's called medicated feed because it contains Amprolium for the prevention and treatment of coccidiosis outbreaks in chicks and juvenile chickens.
Now, let's look into we're going to tell you what Amprolium is, and that's the medication that's in the food. So Amprolium is essentially a thiamine blocker, meaning it prevents thiamine uptake in the host, the chicken, and the coccidia microorganisms. So coccidia need thiamine to live.
Exactly. They will not survive without thiamine.
Now, with the Amprolium, the thiamine blocker prevents the chick from taking up most of the Amprolium. So basically, the coccidia needs this to live. They won't find that within the host, so they will not live.
Right.
Okay.
Treatment is usually a 7-day course of Corid, and Corid is so effective that you sometimes start to see improvement in as little as 24 hours. Now, birds that are very ill may not be drinking enough, so we generally give those birds oral doses by syringe.
Right. Okay, so here's the other question. Do chicks on medicated feed develop an immunity to coccidiosis?
Yes, they will develop immunity as they are exposed to small amounts of coccidia in their environment. And there are some ways you can help that along.
Right, taking them outside to enjoy the grass for a little while. All those great things, giving them exposure, but keeping them on the medicated feed at the same time.
I know of at least one chicken educator who puts some sod from her big chicken run in there, the babies, so they get small amounts of it. A lot of experienced chicken keepers will not use medicated feed, but they know what they're doing.
Here's the thing. We, for many years, use medicated feed, both Holly and I.
Right.
Because this is nothing that can harm them. This is only something that can help prevent a problem from happening.
Right.
Why we stopped is because our chicks come from McMurray Hatchery now, which now they offer the coccidiosis vaccine.
Right.
And once you have the vaccine, you do not give the Amprolium in the food because you counteract what the vaccine has done.
Right, exactly.
So you feed a non-medicated at that point.
You don't need the medicated at that point. There's a myth out there that chicks on medicated feed do not develop immunity. This is scientifically incorrect.
Right. And the other thing is the thiamine deficiency.
Right. So that's another myth. Do chicks on medicated feed end up with a thiamine deficiency? We can't say no 100% of the time, but it is very rare, and it usually only happens in cases with long-term administration of high doses of Amprolium.
And your food doesn't have that in there.
No, it's a small dose. It's a preventative dose, really.
It's a prevention dose.
Now, the most recent study I found was from 2021. This was a group of leghorns that were given a week of treatment with Corid, with blood draws at 3 different intervals along the treatment. All samples taken through this whole study, not one of them showed any diminishment in any vital areas, including vitamin B1.
Right.
The leghorns were fully healthy, and their blood work was healthy, and they did not have a vitamin deficiency anywhere.
They were great.
Right.
So I think the whole medicated feed thing can sound scarier than it really is.
Right.
Know that it's not an antibiotic.
Right.
You're not, making your chicks resistant to antibiotics and this and that. It's not that.
Unless you are misusing the feed somehow, or you're giving them huge doses of Corid, there should not be any kind of a thiamine deficiency in your chick. I used this for 20 years.
I used it until we started getting our chicks from McMurray Hatchery. I used it every year.
And if a chicken educator who's had chickens for 25 years says, I don't use it, well, she's got 25 years of experience under her belt.
Right.
So she might be taking a little bit of a different track. If you're a newbie, we strongly suggest that you look into a medicated feed. Unless
it'll just make your life easier.
It'll make your life easier. It'll keep your chicks healthier. Unless you want to get the vaccine, because the vaccine is fantastic.
The vaccine, if you have strong feelings about non-medicated, get the vaccine.
Yeah.
Go to McMurray Hatchery, order your chicks, click that little button for coccidiosis vaccine, and then this is a game changer for you. You don't even have to worry about this. But if you're going, say, to your feed store or farm supply store and you're saying you're getting chicks that aren't vaccinated,
right?
It's better safe than sorry. It's nothing that can hurt them.
I've seen some stuff online recently with people who bought chicks from a big feed store and they brought the chicks home. The chicks had coccidiosis. They put them with other chicks and all the chicks die.
Yeah.
Medicated feed will help you with that enormously.
Exactly. So there we go.
That's the science behind it.
If you have any questions, please feel free to message us or email us. We try to make time for everybody. Just a little caveat for the next 2 weeks.
We're in getting ready for McMurray Fest mode.
So it may take us a little longer to get back to you because our work schedule is really ramped up, but we will get back to you. Every one of your messages and emails means everything to us, and we want to help everybody. So if you have any questions that go further than this, please feel free to reach out to us. We will help you. Okay, are we ready to move on to
cracking the eggs?
Cracking those eggs. Now, it's summertime. Summertime. So we're going to do a summertime dessert.
We are. And what's more summertime than peaches?
Peaches, baby. Peach jam cake.
This is a delicious bundt cake that very easily converts to gluten and dairy-free. You can also make this as a layer cake. Talk about a beautiful summer birthday cake.
Yeah.
If you want to do the layer cake, just adjust the baking time to about 30 minutes. This is a great recipe to help use up some of your spring egg bounty.
Yeah. I mean, coming in the warmer months, just know that you may get a little less eggs because chickens tend to lay less when it's hot. They're like, no, man, I'm not laying an egg.
So put some extra dozens in your fridge to get you through the hot weeks. I'm going to tell you how this recipe came about. Pete and I went out to our local Amish coop supplier, Penn Dutch, and we ordered a custom shed to be the goose house.
Right.
So we wanted a bigger one. When your husband says, should we get a bigger shed because we're going to get more geese in the future, you say yes.
Just say yes.
Just say yes. And so when we finished up, the nice Amish man said, thanks doing business with you. Why don't you pick out one of these jams to take home? I took the peach and it's delicious. And I thought, I'm going to make a cake with it.
Exactly. So let's go into the ingredients that you used. A cup of buttermilk. Holly Ann made hers dairy-free by adding a tablespoon of lemon juice to a cup of oat milk. It's that easy to do.
Yeah, you just set it aside to curdle a little bit. It's great.
For like 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. A teaspoon of baking soda, 2 sticks of butter, 1 cup softened. Holly Ann uses the Country Crock dairy-free for hers. 2 cups of granulated sugar, 4 eggs. That's a lot of eggs for a cake. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 cups of all-purpose flour or gluten-free flour 1-to-1, 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, which we've been loving lately.
Love it.
A half a teaspoon of ground cardamom, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, a half a teaspoon of salt. You need that 1/18-ounce jar of peach jam. Don't forget the jam.
Yes.
Powdered sugar, water, and or orange liqueur if you're feeling fancy for the glaze.
I love it. Made with a little Cointreau. You could also do a bourbon.
It's a great hostess cake to take with you somewhere.
It's a great make and take, yeah.
Yep.
Preheat that oven to 350 degrees and then grease and flour your favorite bundt pan. It also works really nice in a horn pan, like an angel food cake pan. You're going to beat that softened butter at medium speed with an electric mixer until it's nice and creamy. Gradually add the granulated sugar, beating until it's light and fluffy. Scrape your bowl as necessary. Add those eggs one at a time, beating just until they're blended. Before you add the next one, then you beat in your vanilla. You want another large bowl. In there, you're going to whisk your flour, all those wonderful spices, and the salt. You're going to stir together the buttermilk that you made or bought and baking soda. Now, I do this in a cup or bowl that fits at least 2 cups of liquid because they're going to react when you mix them together.
Right.
Working quickly and carefully, you're going to add the wet and dry ingredients alternately to the butter mixture, beginning and ending with the flour. Beat at low speed until everything's just combined. Scrape down the sides as necessary. You're going to add the peach jam or peach preserves, whatever you're using. Beat that at low speed just until blended and pour that delicious batter into the pan.
Then you're going to bake it, baby.
Bake at 350 for 1 hour or until a knife or skewer inserted in the center of the cake comes out clean.
Or if you have one of those really cool cake testers.
Yeah, we know your mom got you some.
No, I've had it forever. I love them.
You said on one of these your mom got it for you.
She did, like for a shower gift.
Okay. Oh, that's been around a long time then.
Yeah.
Cool in the pan on a wire rack for about 15 minutes. Some people say 10, but if it's really hot, your cake's going to crack.
Oh, and my little cake tester has a chef on top. A chef head.
Congratulations. It's kind of weird.
No, it's not. It's cool.
Okay. Now, once it's cooled for about 15 minutes, you're going to remove the cake from the pan onto a wire rack and let it cool completely.
The hardest part about cakes is letting them cool completely. Because then you're like, oh, yeah, because you want to eat it when it's warm.
Right.
But you're icing or whatever. But sometimes with glaze, if it's a little warm, it's okay.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be, yeah. That stops your glaze from setting up quickly, but, sometimes you can't help it. You need a warm, gooey pile of cake and runny glaze. It's fine. So for the glaze, you're going to mix together a cup of powdered sugar and a tablespoon of liqueur or bourbon or whatever floats your boat and about a teaspoon of water. Stir it all together. If it's too thick, you need it thick but still pourable.
Right.
So you can add a tiny bit of water at a time till you get to that pourable stage.
Or just more bourbon at a time.
You can do that too. A sip of bourbon for you.
More for the cake glaze.
Right. Pour the glaze over the cake and allow it to firm up a bit before serving. And boy, does this baby smell good when it bakes.
Oh, yeah. Try it. You might like it. Let us know what you think. And send us some pictures. Mention us in your stories. We want to reshare. Mention. Okay. So are we ready to move on to retail therapy? Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy, this is one that Holly has reviewed. I am not because I do not have waterfowl, but it's Vitametz.
Vitametz from our friends at Metzer Farms.
We love those people over at Metzer Farms. They're amazing.
So they worked to come up with, like everyone under the sun has their own vitamin and mineral mix right now.
Right.
Well, the Metzers worked to come up with one for waterfowl.
Yes.
And I've been using it with the goslings.
Yeah.
And it must be working because the goslings are like a foot tall already.
I mean, you always want something that's a good standby that's there for you as a tool or as a daily, something that you feel like that you're giving them extra on. This can help with stressed waterfowl, or it can be just something that you give in a different situation.
Right. I mean, it was great to have it on hand to give to the chicks just in case they were feeling stressed from the shipping.
Right.
And then you can use it on hot days.
Right.
You can use it with adult waterfowl too.
Mm-hmm.
So if they've had a stressful time for some reason, a predator attack, a nasty heat wave, really harsh weather, a little bit of this in their water helps them recover.
It's awesome. And you can go right to Metzer Farms. And we checked with them. If that's all you want to buy on their website, that's fine. They'll ship it out to you.
They'll ship it to you. Yeah.
So always keep it on hand. We think it's a great tool to have in your toolbox. That's for sure.
And it's great. I mean, 1 scoop and a gallon of water, you're good to go.
I love those that you just mix in a gallon of water.
So easy. It's so easy. So it's great stuff. And if you're buying any waterfowl, if you're ordering ducks this year, you can order your pack of Vitametz right on the order form.
Right.
Right on the website.
Yep.
It's great. It's fantastic.
Okay. So there we go. It's great for the waterfowl. Okay, so should we talk about what we're going to be talking about next week?
Next week. We're getting ducky again. We are spotlighting the magpie duck.
Yes, we are.
Main topic. I know you're going to agree with me. This was really interesting.
It was.
We're doing the fascinating history of vent sexing.
Yes.
Really neat stuff. Cracking the eggs, old-fashioned rice custard.
Oh, yeah.
So good. And retail therapy, this was Chrissy's idea because we both have them and they really come in handy. We're reviewing chicken strollers.
Because nobody should be without them if you have chickens.
Seriously. I mean,
they're amazing.
I don't know how I did with that one this long.
I tried telling you.
Well, guess what? I have one now. I listened eventually.
Okay, so what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens.
Every day and kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. Thanks for listening.